Claire Dawkins, a newspaper reporter from Great Dunmow, Essex.
My name's Dougie Ford. I'm a computer programmer from Partick, Glasgow.
I'm Helen Sargent, a parish clerk from Selside, North Yorkshire.
My name's Wally Youngman. I'm a police officer from Hull, East Yorkshire.
Good evening and a warm welcome to television's toughest quiz. Just how tough you'll see in the next half hour. 6 rounds of mental, physical and coordination tests. And at the end of them all, the winner will get to do it all again in the Group C final. This is the second of the 3 heats in that group. And straight away, let me wish our 4 latest contestants the very best of luck. That's Claire Dawkins, Dougie Ford, Helen Sargent and Wally Youngman. And contestants, will you all now please put on your headphones to help you achieve maximum concentration for this first round of mental agility. And this evening we return to well-known sayings. In this 40-second speed test, I will give a contestant a series of famous phrases and then ask them questions relating to them. So, for example, if the saying was, "The boy stood on the burning deck," I might ask, what is the 4th word before the word ending in K? Well, the word ending in K is deck, and the 4th word before it is stood, so stood is the answer. Stand by, contestants. I want you all to concentrate very hard. We begin with you, Claire. Your phrase is Matthew, Mark, Luke and John, and your 40 seconds start now. The last letter of the phrase?
N.
The 4th word?
And.
The whole quotation backwards?
John and Luke, Mark, Matthew.
The second word spelt backwards?
K-R-A-M.
The middle letter of the first word?
T.
The number of different letters in the second word?
4.
The last letter of the third word?
And D.
No, the second letter of the 5th word?
O.
What is the middle word?
And.
No, the third letter of the 4th word?
D.
Spell the first word. I was going to say backwards. You don't need to do it, though, but you've got a very good start there, Claire. In 40 seconds, you've got 8. Well done. Let's move on to Dougie. Your phrase is The Merry Wives of Windsor, and your 40 seconds start now. The last letter in the phrase?
R.
The 4th word?
Of.
The whole quote backwards?
Windsor of wives merry the.
The third word spelt backwards?
S-E-V-I-W.
The middle letter of the second word?
R.
The number of different letters in the third word?
5.
The last letter of the second word?
Y.
The second letter of the 5th word?
I.
What is the middle word?
Wives.
The 5th letter of the third word?
S.
Spell the 5th word backwards.
R-O-S-D-N-I-W.
You were right, in fact, but the buzzer beat you to it. Not to worry. Brilliant start for you, Dougie. In 40 seconds, you scored 10. Well done. Now, let's move along to Helen. Your phrase is The geese are getting fat, and your 40 seconds start now. The last letter in the phrase?
T.
The 4th word?
Getting.
The whole quote backwards?
Fat getting our geese there.
The second word spelt backwards?
E-S-E-E-G.
The middle letter of the first word?
H.
The number of different letters in the second word?
3.
The last letter of the third word?
E.
The second letter of the 5th word?
A.
What is the middle word?
R.
The third letter of the second word?
E.
Spell the 4th word backwards?
G-N-I-T-T-E-G.
Just in the nick of time. And an excellent start, Helen. In 40 seconds, you've got 11 right. Well done. And right away, let's move along to Wally. Stand by, Wally. Your phrase is, all men are created equal, and your 40 seconds start now. The last letter in the phrase?
L.
The 4th word?
Created.
The whole quote backwards.
Equal, created, are men all.
The fifth word spelt backwards.
L-A-U-Q-E.
The middle letter of the fourth word.
A.
The number of different letters in the first word.
2.
The last letter of the third word.
E.
The second letter of the fifth word.
Q.
What is the middle word?
R.
The third letter of the second word.
N.
Right, the buzzer just nipped you on the end there, but in 40 seconds you've done very well. You've got 9. Well done. Well, congratulations to them all there. Some excellent scoring, and we'll go immediately to the scoreboard to see how it all worked out. And there we are. Claire with 2 points, Wally 4 points, Doogie 6, but the early leader with a Krypton Factor of 10, the parish clerk from Sellside, North Yorkshire, Helen Sargent. The famous red arrows in their Hawk jet fighters. In round 2, we challenge our contestants to land the Hawk using the £8 million simulator at Lancing in West Sussex. Coordination, nerve and judgment are the key elements that instructor and adjudicator Flight Lieutenant Barry Wright of 63 Squadron will be looking for. The finishing order in this round is down to him. First to go, journalist Claire Dawkins, making a nighttime approach into Singapore. Now, the control column, or joystick on the Hawk, is incredibly sensitive, and she adopts the two-handed grip so that she can just nudge the plane left or right, up or down, with only the slightest of movements. Now, you can see the lights of the runway approach are over to the left there. They should, of course, be straight ahead. She's also a little bit low as well. She's not going to get out of this. She's in real trouble now, I think. And into the ground she goes for a crash. Hard luck, Claire. Now, the Scotsman, Doogie Ford, keeping half an eye on the lights of the runway and half an eye on an instrument called the Attitude Director Indicator, which will guide him down to that runway. It's that one at the top in the centre column, and I'm afraid he hasn't followed it accurately. He's to the right of the runway and trying very hard now to correct the error. And after an erratic start, it's a fairly brave attempt now, but he mustn't let the nose drop too far. He needs to pull back on the stick now. He should be pulling back. He's not, and he dives into the ground for another crash. What a pity. And now North Yorkshire's Helen Sargent. And, well, I can tell you right away, she's in desperate trouble. She's nowhere near the runway, and the plane starts to bank to the right, and it's not a controlled bank either. She's losing control. The ADI virtually stands on its head, and she's plummeting out of the sky. That's an unbelievable crash. Finally, East Yorkshire cop Wally Youngman. I don't know if he drives police cars, but he'll certainly never have experienced anything as demanding as this. But pretty good so far. The runway directly ahead. A little bit high, perhaps, so he'll have to be careful not to drop the nose more than is absolutely necessary. Definitely in with a chance here of landing. Now, the vital moments, he's right over the centre line. Now, this is the moment he's got to start easing back on that joystick. And he's not doing it, oh no, into the ground when it looked like he was going to land it. So, with everyone crashing, the round is judged solely on the approaches. Fourth, not surprisingly, Helen Sargent, who spiralled out of the sky. Third, Doogie Ford, who crashed to the right of the runway. Second, Claire Dawkins, who flew a steady approach before the crash. And the winner, Wally Youngman, who made an excellent descent and almost landed. So let's enter the points won there into the scoreboard. And a change at the top. The new leader with a Krypton Factor of 14 is the policeman from Hull, Wally Youngman. Very close then as we go into round 3, where we test your awareness of visual and verbal detail. Are you alert to changes that may be happening to what you see and hear? Here's how to find out. Watch our specially made video and see if you can spot the 6 deliberate continuity errors that take place. Remember, it's details in scenery and costumes that you need to note, as well as specific pieces of information. So, contestants, to your monitors now, please. Concentrate hard as we go deep into the jungle.
Thank you. I'm being brought to a secret location in this dense jungle to report on the activities of one man, a modern-day Dr. Dolittle. 2 years ago, this man, convinced that he could talk to animals, turned his back on life in England to live completely alone in a crude hut, deprived of all the trappings and comforts of modern civilization.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to my humble abode up the Orinoco. I've been expecting you, of course.
I understand you can speak to animals.
Well, you see, I don't so much speak as make noises, you see. I might go, oh, that's good morning to an orangutan. Then, of course, there's that's good afternoon to an aardvark. And there's oh!
And what does that mean?
It means I've just sat on a splinter.
But do the animals make similar noises in return?
No, well, I'm glad you asked me that, you see, because they don't so much make noises as leave messages. Not those sort of messages, madam. No, you see, if the wife's gone out, the animals can leave messages on these creepers, you see. Now, if I pull this creeper, that's giraffes at 3, and if I pull this creeper, that's monkeys at 2, you see, and this is how I knew you were coming, see. If I pull this...
And what does it mean?
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? Canoes at 10. Get it? Canoes at 10.
Oh. This is Sandy Gall, up the Amazon for news at 10.
That's the lot. Turn to the front, please, contestants, and start writing down what you think the 6 continuity errors were. And while they get on with that, you can prepare to mark your own answers. But first, a big thank you to Sandy and Frankie, or rather, Steve Coogan. Now, watch closely. Here come those 6 deliberate continuity errors.
Number 1 was the native's spear. It started in his left hand, but then suddenly switched to his right hand. Then a dialogue error. We were told that Frankie lives on his own.
Life in England, to live completely alone in a crude hut.
But later, Frankie mentioned a companion.
No, you see, if the wife's gone out...
Number 3 was a setting change. At first the house was called Dun Roaming, but it changed to Bide a While later on. Sandy Gall's microphone provided mistake number 4. It disappeared at one point. Then a costume error. Sandy wore a cravat for most of the time, but he wasn't wearing it at the end. And finally, a dialogue change. Frankie said,
Welcome to my humble abode up the Orinoco.
But it wasn't the Orinoco later on.
This is Sandy Gall, up the Amazon for news at 10.
Well, those were the changes. These are the contestants' answers, and here's how they did. Claire, you got 3 of the changes. Doogie, you also spotted 3. And Wally, you got 3 as well. So all of you are joint second. But Helen, you got 4, so you win the round. Well done to you. And right away, let's enter those points into the scoreboard. And a real seesaw battle developing here, because back into the lead with a Krypton Factor now of 22 is the lady from Sellside near Horton in Ribblesdale, Helen Sargent.
Major Tony Carr starts the race. Claire Dawkins nearest to us in red, and the parish clerk Helen Sargent on the far side. And, oh, Helen just makes a little error there, and Claire into an early lead. Claire's a very keen horsewoman, also an excellent water skier, and keen on paragliding, so a little bit of a daredevil. And here goes Helen, and oh, she doesn't let go of the rope and falls back down again, has to go and do that again as the men set off. Doogie Ford nearest to us, and on the far side, the policeman from Hull, Wally Youngman. Very fit indeed, and you can see that from the way he shoots over that rope swing. Going very well, Wally Youngman. Good fast start. He's a very fit man. Indeed, he's a former professional rugby league player, played for Hull Kingston Rovers. So Claire will know she's got a very fit man giving chase at the moment as she flings herself into that cargonet and starts to climb. Just look at the style of that man. So Wally Youngman all the time cutting back the lead that Claire Dawkins has established, and a little mistake there from Doogie. He can't afford to do that with a man like Wally Youngman just ahead of him. Now, can she hold on, Claire Dawkins, from Great Dunmow in Essex, a journalist? As she begins to climb there, she's got, well, several yards advantage still, and you'll notice that she's wearing gloves as she goes over the top of that scramble net. That's because in practice she burnt her hands going down one of the ropes, and it's for protection. But you can see, no, Wally Youngman looked to me as though he was struggling a bit there, so I wonder just how much Claire Dawkins is left if she can hang on. It looks to me like Wally Youngman started off too fast and is struggling a bit. Claire bouncing through the water there. Doogie Ford beginning to blow quite heavily, and down into the water goes Claire, but at the same time Wally Youngman falls when he could have made up a few yards there. So he's got his work cut out now. He's definitely slowed right down. Good jump into the water there, but look at her dripping wet, Claire Dawkins, and a huge jump, maybe too big a jump, because again he had to take a stride back, which lost him another yard. Doogie is clear in third place. He completely ignored the water there and paid the penalty, went flat on his face. Claire on her way down the aerial slide, just 5'1" of her, and gritting her teeth there, thinking about her landing, plants her feet in beautifully. That was an excellent landing. And now here comes Wally Youngman, who is currently coaching his local rugby league club, Beverley. So has he got the strength and the stamina to come back here with just one obstacle to go, the flat net? Doogie will certainly be third. Helen won't catch him. His only problem at the minute is, will he keep those tracksuit bottoms, which seem to be slipping right down? And that's the landing of a tired man, knees in first. But here comes Claire. She's held him off. She's pushed hard. She's coming across the line. Well-judged race, 10 points. And that's brilliant because she was fourth going into the round. She needed the points as Helen goes down in the water. What a day for getting wet. Wally, I fear, went too hard at the start and he just ran out of steam at the end. He finishes in second place. And now Doogie Ford, who stuck it out all the way through, comes through in third to get 4 points. And immediately, let's see how that race affects the overall situation. Well, Claire has moved up into joint second, 2 points behind the man who has gone back into the lead with a Krypton Factor of 26. It's Hull's Wally Youngman.
So it really is anybody's contest as we go into the fifth of our 6 rounds, and this is the one contestants will admit to losing most sleep over, a 3-dimensional logic puzzle. As you know, contestants, the Krypton Factor is made by Granada Television, one of the 14 ITV stations shown on this map. The task is to assemble the various coloured pieces in front of each of you in such a way that the map is completed. And the golden rule is that no 2 adjacent colours can be the same except for the blue of the sea. Are you all ready then, contestants? The test starts now.
For this problem, you really don't need to know your ITV stations. The clues are in the coastline of the British Isles and in the colour arrangement. Now, Claire has that piece the wrong way round. The finger holes must be on the contestant's side. And the bottom section that Helen has in place there is wrong. And so is the piece on the southern part of Ireland. Now, that's the obvious starting point, the block that covers the whole of the south coast. And Wally also has that base section correct. And things beginning to take shape for Helen. And by the way, apologies to Channel TV viewers. The size of the puzzle didn't allow us to fit their area on the map, but no disrespect to a fine TV station. Now, don't forget the golden rule in this test. Apart from the light blue blocks representing the sea, no blocks coloured the same can touch each other. They must have a different colour separating them. Claire, struggling a little. She was second equal going into the round, just 2 points behind Wally, so she'd be keen to finish ahead of him here. But, well, that's not so good either. And red against red just can't work. But this is more like it. Helen Sargent almost there. Just the Grampian and Scottish TV regions to fit. That's Grampian in place. Here's STV, and just a bit of sea left in the top corner. And that's it. 10 points to Helen. Very well done indeed. Now the battle for second place and 6 points. Doogie Ford. And that green block he's got there, in fact just discarded, was correct for the central TV section. And that large block, if he angled it right, would have one dark blue part in the Granada, northwest of England area, and the other dark blue bit covering Ulster. But he hasn't quite got it yet. Now, the light blue block at the very bottom left is wrong, so unless Claire moves it, she won't be able to fit that large block covering the south of Ireland. Wally Youngman. Now, that piece representing Anglia is in fact correct. The little gap at the top is there to confuse. In fact, it'll be filled by the block that fits on top, but it has thrown Wally. And I think we now know who's going to finish second. Scotsman Doogie Ford with just a couple of blocks to put in. appropriately enough, fall in his part of the world. And here goes the last one. And so 6 valuable points to the man who was 4th going into the round. And it looks like Claire will be 3rd. Central TV going in there, and just the C at the top, and a big happy smile for 4 points, Claire Dawkins.
Well, it was very clearly Helen who was tuned in to that test most, and we shall immediately go to the scoreboard and add in all the points. And, well, I said there was a seesaw battle going on at the top, and it continues. Back into the lead with a Krypton Factor now of 34 is the parish clerk from Sellside, North Yorkshire, Helen Sargent. Absolutely wide open as we enter the round that will finally decide who goes through to the group final and who bows out. 100 seconds of rapid-fire general knowledge questions to be answered on the buzzer. 2 points for a correct answer, 2 points deducted for a wrong one. Ready on the buzzers, contestants? The clock starts now. According to the proverb, what should you not look in the mouth? Claire.
A gift horse.
Correct. Which annual horse trials have been held at the Duke of Beaufort's home since 1940? Claire.
Badminton.
Correct. The albums Bad and Thriller were made by Doogie.
Michael Jackson.
Correct. What nickname did General Thomas Jackson earn by his dogged Doogie?
Stonewall.
Correct. Which line follows "Stone walls do not a prison make" in Lovelace's poem To Althea from Prison? Answer: nor iron bars a cage. John Cage's composition, 4 minutes 33 seconds, consists entirely of what? Wally.
Nothing.
Correct. Silence. Who wrote The Quiet American, Brighton Rock and Our Man in Havana? Claire.
Graham Greene.
Correct. Greenland and the Faroe Islands are part of which European country? Doogie.
Denmark.
Correct. If a dental filling is called an amalgam, it must contain which element? Helen.
Mercury.
Correct. In myth, Mercury's staff, the caduceus, has wings and what twined round it? Answer is 2 snakes. Snake, dragon, buffalo and tiger represent years in which system of astrology? Doogie.
Chinese.
Correct. What sort of building was the setting for the film The China Syndrome with Jane Fonda and Jack Lemmon? Doogie.
A nuclear power station.
Correct. The power of what is measured in diopters in physics? The answer is lenses. Who succeeded Len Murray as General Secretary of the TUC in 1984? Doogie.
Norman Willis.
Correct. Which policeman created by Ted Willis in the 1950s was played? Doogie.
Dixon of Dock Green.
Correct. For which club did Dixie Dean score 60 league goals in the night? Doogie.
Everton.
You got Everton in the nick of time, that's correct. And at the end of the contest, the winner with a Krypton Factor of 42, the computer programmer from Partick, Glasgow, Doogie Ford. Well, a tremendous late run by the Scotsman, and our warmest congratulations to Doogie on that magnificent victory. We look forward to seeing him again in the Group C final a fortnight tonight. We shall be back next Monday night at 7 o'clock with the last heat in Group C, so do join us for that. In the meantime, from all the contestants here and from me, good night.